Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today topic is like what is a variable in TypeScript and what is a constant in TypeScript and what are the data types in TypeScript. So which are like basic like the string data type, number data type and Boolean data type and null data type and undefined data type and object data type. So why this particular topic is very important. 99% of beginners struggling with the Playwright because they skip these basics. What exactly a variable? When should use a let variable and a var and a constants. So does undefined appears and people will scare that, and what is the difference between a null and undefined? In this video, I will explain the variable constants and data type in a simplest and possible way with a real world example and coding demo. Let's master the foundation for the Playwright together. Before learning advanced TypeScript like function, array, object, loops and class, every beginner should clear understanding about the three concepts which are like variable, constant and data type. So let's start that. What is a variable? This is a Playwright project. So where I'm going to create a one test. So which is like a demo variable class dot ts. So ts which extend TypeScript, and I will variable is a name container used to store a data in memory. So we can store a value inside the variable and use later in the program. So first of all, simple example, I will say that let age. So let age and let is a type, okay, and variable name is a age and equal to 5. So here you can see that age is the variable name. Age is the variable name and 5 is the value stored inside the variable. Value stored inside the variable. Why do we use variable? So variables are used to store the information that may change during the execution. Okay, let first name equal to John and let age equal to 30 and let city equal to New York. So I want to print all those values. So to print any value in TypeScript, okay, there is a console command, console.log. Okay, console.log is a statement, and inside that we have to provide the variable name. Which variable name you want to print, that value you need to give. So that console print will be printed in the console. Now, in TypeScript, creating a variable, okay, there are two ways to create. Okay, so variable can be created by using let in TypeScript. So we can create a variable. So there are two type of variable. We can say that let or var. So let's see that how to create. Already we saw that let a name, okay, or age. So equal to 5. So here a type is a let type and variable name is a name, age here, and inside that we can store value is a 5. Similarly, so we can create a by using a var type of variable using creating var. So I will use that var variable, var type. So here we can type is the type of the variable is var and age equal to 5. Okay, variable name is age, but the type is different. When to use let and when to use var. So here I can say that let is a modern and recommended way to create a variable. So var is a older way to use and let is a modern way to use. Just to you can remember that way. So now next is declaring a variable first and assign later. Okay, so what we can do? So first we can declare a variable. So variable, we can declare a variable first and assign the later. So here you can see that let is our age. So let me create a age. Age is a number. Okay, data type also we can specify. And so let age, okay, and the type is number, and so this is a kind of declaration. So this is a declaring a variable. Now, yeah, to run this program, so just I uncommented the above because those are like explanation things. So those are the explanation things. So what I can running the program right now. So first we can declare that variable and we have reassign the value for the variable. Just I'm showing that. So let me run this thing. So we can use this command npx and tsx and location of the variable, location of the class. So now that what is that? First we are assigning the value as a 20 age and we are reassigning to 30. So for first one 20, the age age variable is hold initially it is 25 and after reassignment, we age equal to 30. So it changed to 30. That is the way. So I hope you clearly understand about the what is a variable. And next, what is a constant? So let's see that detail example. For that, I will create one more class. So let me create a class underscore example dot ts. Let me tell you what is a constant in TypeScript. What is a constant in TypeScript is a constant is also used to store a data. Once a value is assigned, it cannot be changed later. Constants are created using const keyword. So let me create one constant variable, constant occupation. Okay, occupation as an engineer, software engineer. So now you can see that so a constant is a variable. It cannot be reassigned later. Okay, and it used to create a const a keyword. Once you assign a value, it cannot be changed later. Yeah, now it printed console output is software engineer. So I have already assigned my constant is a keyword and it is a variable name and data type is string. So what is the data type later? Next session in the next topic we have that. So data type and the assign the value is. So once you assign this value, okay, it cannot be changed. So let's see that. Suppose I created a constant as a software occupation variable is assigned, constant assigned as a software engineer. I want to try to change. Okay, let me try to change the constant value. So constant's value. And what is the value I want to change? So let change to like occupation is equal to data scientist. So data scientist. Now immediately you see that there is a error. Okay, there is a error. So error is error. What is the error? Error says that cannot assign occupation because it is a constant. So why it is a constant? So because this constant keyword is there in that before of the variable name. What is a variable type? String type. And what is a variable name? Occupation. And which was declared as a constant. And assign the value is software engineer. So which means once you assign the constant value, you cannot change to another value because it is a constant. You decided you don't want to change the program. Suppose if I remove this one. So if I remove the constant, so let add a let variable. Now it won't throw a error. So because it is the let value, let a type of the variable. So we can change it or we can reassign the new value. So earlier it is a software engineer occupation. Now it can be changed to data scientist. But if you are decided to use entire that requirement is this particular occupation should not be changed. Once it is assigned a person is a software engineer has joined. So mostly we won't change the occupation. So that is the case. We will declare as a constant. So we need to decide that a variable is going to be changed. Then we have to declare that let or var. And if you want to variable is a constant throughout the example or throughout the requirement. So we have to declare a constant. So constants cannot be changed. Cannot be changed the value. Okay, once you assign that value or once you declare the value. So I want to tell you one important rule. A constant must be assigned a value at the time of creation. So what is mean by this one, right? Suppose if I delete this one or if I only declare, so it won't accept constant. So when you creation time, okay, when you creation time only the value should be assigned. So it won't allow to declare. So constants we have to declare some value whether you are creating a constant variable. So without only declaration it is not without declaration it is not allowed. It throw the error and error says that constant declaration must be initialized. So that is the important rule for the constant. Yeah, let me summarize few points here. So what is the difference between variables and constants? Variables, the first point is variable. Create a variable using let or var. From the side of constant, so create a constant keyword by using a constant variable. And a variable can be changed like let variable, var variable. It can be value can be reassignment and it is change. Constants, once you declare that value cannot be changed. And from the variable side, like let variable and var variable, reassignment is allowed. On the constant side, reassignment is not allowed. And use a dynamic data when you use, like when you choose declare a value for letter, use there is a dynamic data is going to be changed or something you can use. So use for the constant is a fixed data. Yeah. Next topic is what are the data types in TypeScript. A data type is defined what kind of values in a variable can store. For example, so the name is a text. Okay, the name is a text. So it is a string data type. Okay, it is a string data type. Suppose there is a age. Age is a number. So it is a number data type. And also we have kind of common data types like string, number, Boolean, null, okay, and undefined and object data type. Let's see that one by one example. Yeah, let me create a one class file and data type example dot ts. So now let's start with the string data type. String data type. So what is a string data type? A string is used to store a text value. In the string data type, we can use string data type used to store a text values. Okay, so we can use to store a text values. Anything written inside the double quotation or quotation, so we can treat as a string. So we can declare any variable. Suppose I will create a letter and middle name. Just I will do the middle name and type is a string. Okay, colon type is a string. So here I want to tell you that suppose here is a Williams. So what is this declaration? I will explain detail. Okay, so as we know what is a let is a variable type. Okay, we can declare a variable types. What are the variable types we can use? We can use let and var, and there is a constant, right, which we already discussed, right? And middle is a name of the variable, and after the colon you have to define type. Which type? Okay, which type of the data you want to store. Okay, so here I declare as a string. My middle name should be in a string format. So what we can do, we will provide a double quotation and value inside that. Anything you written inside the quotes, it is treating as a string data. Okay, string data, that is called string data type. So declaring a variable in a string type and assign the value, right? So this is the line which tell us. So now what I can read this line. Okay, how to read this line or how to understand this line. Okay, data type is string data type. Value is also. So right now the string declaration and assign the value. Now let's see the another thing in the string. So we can concat the two strings. How to do that? So that is a string concatenation. So you want to concatenation of two string. So how to do that? So suppose let me declare the two variables, like first name is first name as a John and last name is a Doy. So now I want to print that. Okay, so we can print that console. So let me do the console here. So console.log and so I can print the value console.log and this one, the first name and middle name and last name. So or we can also print the three variables: first name, middle name, and last name. So we are concatenating three. So it will be output will be like this. Okay, John Williams Doe. So let me run this test and we can see the output. So we want to run, right? So we want to run, what is the file name? Test data type underscore example. Data type example. So now we can see that the outcome is John Williams Doe. So first name, okay, first name is middle name Williams and last name is Doy. So this is the way it has been concatenated. So concatenation of multiple strings. So I hope you clear about this string data type. Let me summarize that. A string is a data type and which can store a text values. If anything, you can provide quotes. So it has a treat as a string. And one more thing. So we can declare a string letter like what is that? Next is like occupation, right? So here we can use a kind of single quotes also. Okay, so or double quotes. So both will be same. Single quotes or double quotes. Either you can use single quote representation or double. Okay, right. So this is the way also we can clear. So here is a double quotes declaration of the string, and here is a single quote declaration. Yeah, let's jump on to the next one is next data type. Let's jump on to the next data type is number data type. A number data type is used to store a numeric value. Okay, it is used to store a numbers. Okay, used to store a numeric value or numbers. Suppose age. Okay, age is a number, so we can and height also is a kind of number. So we want to declare any data type of variable which can store a number, either 20, either number, right, or 30 or points, decimals. So we want to take that number data type in TypeScript. So here you can see that let age, okay, variable type let, and age is a variable, colon number is a data type. So here you have to declare a number data type. So here is I'll tell that age of boy, no duplication. So that is the case. Okay, age of boy, and number is, so declaring the variable number is assigned. Okay, and height is a number, and is a like 3.0. Okay, 3 feet something, 3.9 something. So that is the way it has been declared data types, number data type. Okay, so basically we can so this is a simple way to declare, but in the number next thing is we can do some kind of number operations. So what are the number operations? Anyone know the number operations? So basically there are, we can do like number addition. So addition of two number, addition of like subtracting two number, and multiplication of two number or division of two number. So I declare a number 1 as a number 10, and I can add the number 1 plus number 2, outcome is addition of the result. So similarly, I can do the subtract like console dot log, and I can number 1 minus number 2 also. Similarly, I can do that a multiplication of the number so that I can get the multiplication result. Similarly, I can do that division value will come. So these are the operation usually we do in that number operations, right? So let me run this and see the result. So here you see that there is a number that boy age is 30 and height is 3.9. And after that, these are the number operations. The first one is a arithmetic, adding a two number, result is a 15, and number 1 minus number 2, the outcome is 10, 10 minus 5 is result is 5, and number 1 and arithmetic operation or multiplication. So number 1 and number 2, 10 into 5, 50, and also division, number 1 is 10 and number 2 is a 5, outcome is 2. So these are the results which I hope you clear about this number data type. Next, jump on to the Boolean data type. So the next is Boolean data type in TypeScript. So basically here a Boolean stores only a two values. Okay, basically Boolean which will have defaultly two values. What first one is true or false. So there are two values which can store, like, so let's see that. So here is a student, is a variable name, and type is Boolean, and store as a value. Okay, he is a student. He has driving license, is a false, because he is a student, so he don't have driving license, because after the age of different countries we have certain age to get the driving license. So if it is students, mostly like under 10th, so we won't get the driving license. So he is a student, then he won't has a driving license. So that is the way in the real time. So basically is a student, number Boolean type, which default is store. Either we can store true or false value. If he is not a student, he has a driving license. Suppose he is an adult, so he has a driving license. Either which can store false value or true value. It depends upon your requirement, which can take it. Let me revert this one. As he is a student, has a Boolean value is true, and he has a driving license is equal to false. Okay, and print the values. The console data. Clear about this? Yes. Now, as I told you, so in the Boolean, so we have certain operations. We used to do that Boolean conditions. Okay, Boolean conditions. It's not operation. It is a Boolean. Let me type it first. And Boolean in condition. Okay, the person is a student, and so just you see that there is a Boolean condition which I written here. If he is a student, then the person is a student, and else the person is not a student. Something like. So based on your value which is assigned is a student Boolean value. So the Boolean value which have in the condition true or false. So if condition we'll talk in the later, but here you can see that whenever it trues, and it print the statement of block of this one. That is, this person is a student. If the statement is false, which means he is not a student, and if it is a value is a false, then this person is not a student, which will be print. So that is the way it will be. Okay. Yeah. So let me run this program and see that outcome. So currently we have a person, right? This is a person. Suppose, because why the person got print here, it is a the student value is assigned a true. So suppose if I make a false here, then if I run this result, let me clear here. So now if I run this test, so this time is a student is false, so that in the Boolean condition, first if block will be unsatisfied, so which is not a true. So when it is true, only it will execute. Right now, the student is not a student, so if else block will be executed, the person is not a student. So that result will be printed. Yes. So the person is not a student. So like that we used in real time. Okay. I hope clear. So go to the, yeah. Next jump onto the another data type is null data type. Yeah, next we'll jump onto the another data type is null, right? Null data type. So what is a null data type and when to use and what is the purpose is very, there is another data type undefined. What is the difference between those? Most of the people will confuse here. So let me clear out that one by one. So null is a data type. What is mean by null? So null means the variable is exist, but it has intentionally given an empty value. Okay. So initially, so we have a variable and we'll assign a null. So which means by intentionally we are providing a empty value on that. So let me tell you that example here. Type letter spouse name. Okay, spouse name. Now it is a string and we are assigned the value as a null. What is that? Assigned. So now what is this one? So let is a variable and variable name is a spouse and the data type is a null and assign the value as a null. So null is we are giving a empty value. Okay, we are giving empty value. Let me type that console dot. Okay, so what we will get? So let's see that. And you see null value will be, sorry, spouse name and clear and run this test again, data type example.ts, and you see that null. So we are providing intentionally the null. Spouse name is null. Okay. So this is the case. So if, for example, in real time, for example, like suppose there is a manager, for example, let manager, okay, manager equal to null. Okay, I can declare like this also. So if an employee does not have any manager item, but we can store as a null value. So I started a company. I don't have assigned any manager role, but I need a manager role later point of time. So what I can do, I will put in null. So that is the case. So this is the one. And so next topic is next data type is undefined. Let's see that. Undefined data type. So here undefined data type means where the variable is created. Okay, variable is created, but no values assigned. And here what is the difference between null and undefined is null will have assigned some empty value as a null, but in the undefined variable we won't assign any value. For example, let address. So it is undefined, nothing is defined. Suppose if I print this statement console.log address, now if I run this code, now that okay, address is came. Now let's run this. So what is the address value now? We haven't assigned any value. So just it is declared. Okay, no value has been assigned, so that we will get that undefined. So the above null value, we have assigned some null empty. That is a null. It is not a null. It is a kind of empty. So value variable is assigned and empty value is assigned. That is called as a null data type. And you just declare the variable. No value has been assigned. So we call as a undefined data type. So let me discuss this detail differences with this kind of null and undefined. So which means difference between null and undefined variables or values. Come to the null, value is assigned intentionally empty. For an undefined, value is not assigned yet. Yeah, let me summarize the data type. Okay, string data type, store the text values. Okay, let me summarize this one. Let me summarize the data type. Okay, The first data type is the string data type, store the text values, and number next is a number data type, store the numeric values, and the Boolean data type, which can store that yes or no or true or false. And there is a null data type which can intentionally store the empty value, and there is an undefined data type represent that unassigned value. By default, TypeScript will give that undefined if user is not assigned any values. And object is a last data type, so which can store a multiple related values like a person, which can have name, age, address, phone number. All those together we can add a object data type. So I hope you clear about this concept of this, like what is a variable, what is a constant, and what are the data type I explain in detail. So please watch and get learn this one. Okay, thank you.